there, thank you so much for joining me today. This is Julie DiMatteo from thepaperpixie.com, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make this Hexagon Favor Box. I originally saw this idea from fellow demonstrator Petra Rosenbaum, and I just had to try it for myself. Now she does it slightly differently, where she's rounded the corners on the top here, and it has a totally different look. Unfortunately, our corner rounder punch has since been retired, and it's a little bit finicky to try to round the corners using the envelope punch board. So I decided to make my box look like this. So let's go ahead and get started. First, you're going to start with a piece of Designer Series paper. This is from the Fresh Florals Designer Series paper stack, and it's in the powder pink color, has a beautiful double-sided paper, and this measures 7 inches by 3 3/4 inches. One thing to note here is if your paper is directional, like this one is, you want to make sure that your direction goes up and down along the 7-inch side. Now we're going to go ahead and make some scoring lines, and I'm going to use our Simply Scored. And along the 7-inch side, we are going to score this at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So very easy to remember, every inch. Then I'm going to rotate it clockwise, and we're going to score it at 7/8 and 2 1/8. Now if you wanted to alter the height of this box, you would want to make sure that this top section measures 1 5/8 inches. So you could alter the width of this box by simply scoring it at 7/8 and then rotate it 180 degrees and score it at 1 5/8, and that will ensure that you have the right dimensions for the top and the bottom of the box. Now go ahead and fold and burnish on all of your score lines. Now once that's complete, we're going to take out our paper snips and we're going to make some cuts here. So the first thing we're going to do is a small little rectangle here at the bottom. I think you can see those score lines. We're going to cut out this rectangle, but I'm also going to notch out this section right here is going to be the tab that we'll use to close the box. So I am going to try to notch that out, and I'm going to cut away this bottom right section. Then we're going to cut up each of these score lines up to the horizontal score line, and that's going to create the tabs along the bottom to close the bottom of our box. So now along the top, I'm going to go ahead and notch in here as well. And we are going to cut all the way down here. We're going to have the same cutting motion. We're going to cut from this corner to this corner. Let me do the first one and show you. This one's going to cut away. And then again, we're going to cut from the top of this score line to the bottom of this score line. And then I just fold this back to get it out of the way, and we're going to continue to do that all the way down. Okay, then we're going to have something that resembles this. I'm going to make one more cut, and we just need this to be about 1/4 inch here, just enough to adhere the box together. All right, now I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to use some glue dots here, and we're going to fold these top diagonal looking pieces back on themselves. I'm just going to stick a glue dot right about there and fold it back on itself. And we're going to do that all the way down. Now with my bone folder, I'm just going to go ahead and reinforce those folds, stick those glue dots down. All right, now you can use tear and tape adhesive or liquid glue or even fast fuse. I'm going to go ahead and use our multi-purpose liquid glue. And we're going to adhere the box together. So I'm just going to put glue along this tab and fold this back on itself because it's an equal number of sides. That should line up really well. Okay. Now what helps me here is I'm going to flip back. So these funny looking pieces are actually going to be the top of the box, the petal top of the box. I'm going to fold those backwards because that's going to help me close the bottom of the box. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to overlap each of these over themselves. So you always want to make sure that, and it doesn't matter where you start or what you start with, but they all need to be in the same pattern. So we're going to have this side over. You just always want to make sure that they're all in the same pattern. Because then when you push them down, there we go, they're going to hold together like that. Pretty cool, huh? Now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to punch out 2 powder pink cardstock circles with the 1 3/4 inch circle punch. And I'm going to start by putting one of those on the inside. This is exactly the same diameter of this hexagon box, so it's going to help it keep its hexagon shape. So I'm going to add some liquid glue to that. And I'm going to press that into the bottom of the box. Using my glue to kind of put some pressure down. And that circle, because it is 1 3/4 inches, is actually going to line up on the inside and keep that hexagon in a symmetrical hexagon. All right, now we're going to add one to the bottom. And that's just going to cover up the flaps on the bottom of the box. Just gives it a nice finish. Sometimes it helps to flip it over and then press down again from the inside. Now before we close this box, I'm going to go ahead and put in a Ferrero Rocher. This box will also fit other things like tea lights, other types of candy. It's a really cool box for a wedding favor or a wedding shower favor. I specifically chose this color and the sentiment that we're going to use, perfect for a wedding shower or a wedding favor. So now to close this, you just start with any of the flaps and we're going to overlap them, but we're constantly trying to put the next flap in the little crook here, if that makes sense. And it'll get harder as you go, but it's not too hard. And then the last one, you just want to very gently place it underneath, and there you go. That is so cool. I love this box, and look how cool it is from the profile. Very cool looking box, easy to make. Now we're going to go ahead and do a little bit of stamping. This is where we close the box, so this would be the back panel. So we're going to place our sentiment here on the front. Now I'm just going to use the Ready to Pop stamp set and the sentiment Love is Sweet. Some really sweet sentiments in here. With love would be wonderful for this box, from me to you, and they fit really well on the front of this hexagon box. So using powder pink ink, I'm going to go ahead and stamp the sentiment Love is Sweet. I'm going to punch that out with the 1-inch circle punch. And then I'm going to punch out another circle using the 1 1/4 inch circle punch. And glue the sentiment on top there. Then we're going to stick a sweet little heart from the metallic enamel shapes. Place that right next to the sentiment. Just gives it a little bit of bling. We're going to stick that to the front of our box using a dimensional in the center. And there we go, a super sweet Hexagon Favor Box. Very easy to make, but it has just a beautiful, beautiful design. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel so you can catch my next video. Please leave a comment if you have any questions or feedback for me, and I'll be sure to reply to you. If you're interested in purchasing any of the Stampin' Up! Products I used in today's video, or would like to shop in my online store, please see the links in the video description below. I'd also love to have you visit me at my blog, thepaperpixie.com, where I post new content Monday through Friday to inspire you. Thank you again. Have a wonderful and blessed day. Take care. Bye!